In the far south of Chile, there is a wild land studded with volcanoes, glaciers, ancient trees, a second Eden. And it all belongs to one man, the eccentric Douglas Tompkins, who gave up a vast corporate empire in the States to become a recluse in an Antipodean wilderness, lord of all he surveyed. A recluse, by definition, doesn't want to be found, and it seemed the weather was conspiring with him. As we cruised past the close and shrouded cliffs, again, it became clear the pilot was lost. But at Chaiten, the nearest town to Pumalin Park, help was at hand. You can't drive here from Santiago. Pumalin Park cuts the country in two. I discovered later that most locals prefer to arrive by boat. Here in Chaiten, we meet our first runaway eccentric, Nicholas the music teacher, another American who has rejected the McDonald's way of life. He doesn't have as much money as Tompkins, but Nicholas has the best truck in town. Our translator, fixer and friend Patricio was also a musician. And the inevitable happened. The road ends abruptly at Caleta Gonzalo. It's here that Tompkins' property cuts the country in half. To go further, you must go by ferry. To the north are unpassable cliffs. To the west, the sea. To the east, Pumalin Park. Somewhere out there, on a remote ranch without phone or fax, is the elusive Douglas Tompkins. You don't just go knocking on Tompkins' door. If he wants to see you, he descends like cargo from the sky. And if you're lucky, you get 30 minutes of his time. We were lucky.
Do you think you're eccentric?
I heard that said. That's very difficult for anybody to answer about themselves.
Do you see an irony between the way you made your money and the way you're choosing to spend it?
Well, there are a lot of ironies in life. Life is one big irony, right? Everybody knows that.
But when it comes to his new life's work, Tompkins is deadly serious.
The system is destroying nature and is extincting species. This is something that's unacceptable. This is a moral line in the sand, so to speak, for me.
And so it was that Douglas Tompkins, corporate star, sold out of Esprit and, with a lazy $125 million or so in his pocket, bought into Chilean real estate. He now owns 300,000 hectares, the world's biggest private park, and all that lives on, above, and in it.
There's a big family that lives in the White Rock over there. And it's
Tompkins had wanted to be alone. With us is Paula, one of his assistants. On this silver morning, the Renue Fjord feels and sounds like paradise. Who wouldn't feel grateful to a man who stopped the clock and let such beauty be, wild and undeveloped? Well, quite a lot of Chileans, as it turns out. What they see isn't philanthropy, but a rich American acting suspiciously.
Everywhere in the world, human nature is something new, something unknown, is met with skepticism. So I take it as pretty normal.
Skepticism plus.
Well, you know, sometimes it gets virulent.
Well, let's look at some of the reasons that have been given. You are building a Jewish homeland. You are setting up a gold mine. You are a spy for Argentina.
Well, you know, it's hard to predict or to preempt these things. We have to wait to find out what outrageous claim is being made.
Well, what's the craziest one you've heard?
The craziest one was that we were going to take the local cows out and replace them with North American bison. That was about as good as it got.
The project of Tompkins cut the country in about 100 kilometers from the mountains to the sea.
Some of the objections are more substantial. Conservative Congressman Jaime Orpis, for instance, sees Tompkins's holding as a threat to national sovereignty.
This great piece of land.
So you think there's a military threat from the fact he goes right to the border with Argentina?
Yes, and this is very difficult and dangerous for our sovereignty.
As far as I can see, the title holder, no matter where you are, in what country, anywhere in the world, means very little in the case of the country needing to defend itself. I've never heard of military knocking on owner's door and asking if they could come in to defend the country.
More opposition, the timber industry, accustomed to reducing vast tracts of forest to small chips for export. Tompkins is portrayed as anti-progress and anti-development, charges to which he pleads guilty.
I do understand why there's a rush to cut them, because people want to get rich. But I think that it would be better to understand what it is that you're cutting. The trouble is that human progress has stopped evolution. In some places, we need to let evolution keep going. Because later, when civilization collapses, it would be good to have an evolutionary base in which to build back.
Do you believe that'll happen?
It looks like it's well underway, from all I can see.
What's the evidence?
Well,
what do you look at to say that?
I would say that the eco-social crisis is the first place you could look. I mean, we have greenhouse effects, we got ozone depletion, we got forest cover, we got diminishing biomass in the oceans, we have depleted soils, we have toxics everywhere, we have massive cities out of control. I mean, this looks like a collapse to me.
A solid hour's boat trip from Caleta Gonzalo, at the foot of the active Michimaguida volcano, is Douglas Tompkins' ranch. Once again, we went with Paula. The eco-warrior himself was off in his plane, scouting more land. While the house is relatively modest for a multimillionaire, the gardens are something else. Tompkins' global passion for nature is echoed in his own backyard. It's all organically grown, of course, and tasting of warm sunshine. What about the yellow flowers? Are they useful or are they just pretty?
They're to attract birds and butterflies and bees, especially bees, now that we're producing honey. Mm-hmm. So that's good for us.
And horseflies? Pity about the horseflies, but even Eden had its snake.
They come here for the summer.
But even this dedication to the natural world has been used against Tompkins. The stick they use to beat him is deep ecology, though what that actually means is open to considerable dispute.
Tompkins is not alone. He's not a USA person and want to make a great park in Chile. He's part of the more radical movement, ecologic movement in the world. the name of this movement is the deep ecology.
How do you understand deep
The
ecology?
Deep ecology don't want any progress.
What is deep ecology?
Instead of human beings as anthropocentric, being the center of everything, human beings are but one node in a nexus in a vast net or complex of other beings, and that other beings, whether they're plants or mountains or rivers and so forth, have value, intrinsic value, for itself.
Tompkins created and funds the Foundation for Deep Ecology in the United States, and it does call for a limit to human population growth. But in this deeply Catholic country, that's laid Tompkins open to the charge of being an abortionist and an enemy of the church. That was the land you really wanted, wasn't it? I mean, that was the missing link.
Yeah, well, that was the centerpiece that would have united the North and South pieces. But, you know, we were sleeping. I mean, we were sleeping. We just woke up and said, this is not possible. It's not possible we can get blamed for this.
Douglas Tompkins came to Chile with deep pockets, high hopes, and a grand dream. 8 years on, despite the knocks, he's still dreaming. He gives millions each year to various environment groups, and he's planning to turn this land into a national park, which he'll bequeath to the Chilean people. And what will Douglas Tompkins do next? He'll go to another country and start all over again. I don't know if it's possible to answer this, but I'll ask anyway. Why do you give all your money away?
Well, what would you do with it? Go fiddle while Rome burns?